Hi, everyone. I'm Todd Feldman, Hobart and William Smith class of 1989. Welcome to the 2024 HWS Pitch Contest. I want to thank everyone associated with helping to put together the pitch year after year. It truly does take a village to make this happen, and it's remarkable how seamless it feels knowing all the moving parts that happen behind the scenes leading up to the event itself. I want to thank President Gearin, Susan Pleiner, and Kayla Eberhardt, and of course Julie Kennedy, who initially led our family to the pitch and has been by my side every step of the way for now 4 years. And a big thank you to the impressive panel of judges that have taken the time to be here tonight. And most importantly, I want to congratulate the finalists. We've all had a chance to spend a little time on Zoom last week, and as cliche as it sounds, I mean it with my whole heart when I say you've all already won. The true spirit of an entrepreneur is one that keeps going, keeps driving. So good luck tonight. Keep going, keep driving, and keep changing the world. Thank you so much. It truly is our family's pleasure to be part of this inspiring annual HWS event. Good night.
That was so nice. That was great. Well, Todd, let me thank you as you are watching from home in Los Angeles. And this is a great crowd, and our collective thanks are going across the continent. So let's jump right in here, and let me introduce our distinguished panel of judges. Well respected for their impressive careers where they have been at the very center of entrepreneurship and business acumen. As I said, 3 graduates and a parent of a current student, but all of them have really the kind of expertise and individual accomplishments that prepare them for this very tough job ahead to judge our contestants here. So let me briefly introduce them, ask you to stand individually and accept our collective thanks. First, Mr. Paul Harden from the class of 1982. He is, all right, give it up for Paul here. A seasoned professional with more than 30 years of experience working with startups and growth companies in Newport, Rhode Island, and very senior roles in the growth of small businesses as director of the Greater Newport area at the Rhode Island Small Business Development Corporation. So, Mr. Harden, welcome back. Thank you for being here. From the class of 2005, Lee Jokel. Lee. Not too long ago, I knew Lee when he was a student here, right on this campus. He too brings a wealth of experience in innovation, and business strategy development. He's currently the director of growth strategy at T. Rowe Price. But prior to his this important position he has accepted, he was co-founder of Sightlighter as a successful ed tech venture. And so as an entrepreneur, bringing that proprietary software to schools nationwide and ultimately being acquired by Sylvan Learning. So welcome back to our campus and welcome back to Upstate. Lydia Lozides, parent of a current student, class of 26. Lydia is the managing partner and president of Talently, a research and advisory firm that partners with organizations committed to accelerating the growth of their business and their impact in their people. So a professional of long-standing and bringing an important perspective into the judging panel this evening. And finally, Kawar Kokar from the class of 2000. Kawar. He is the founder of Saks Health, a strategy and communications company specializing in market access and medcom and media for healthcare and life sciences. So as you can see, 4 extremely well-prepared, experienced judges who will bring their particular sector expertise to this evening's judging very tough assignment. So let's get going to the 13th annual pitch competition. Allow me to introduce Anne-Marie Luce, who's one of the associate directors of the Centennial Center, who will introduce the first participant. Anne-Marie.
Hello, I'm Anne-Marie Luce, the Associate Director of the Centennial Center. For our finalists, tonight marks the culmination of a rigorous 6-month journey. Getting ready to present before an audience of this magnitude and facing judges of such high caliber provides merely a glimpse into the challenges of bringing an entrepreneurial vision to life. The audience should know that the finalists will be judged on 7 distinct criteria: market opportunity, innovative idea, management capability, financial understanding, scalability, business model, and overall performance. Each finalist will be granted an uninterrupted 8-minute time frame to pitch their idea, followed by a Q&A session from our judges. As the curtains draw on this eventful night, one exceptional winner will take away a $10,000 prize to propel their idea into tangible reality. Okay, now we're ready for the pitch presentations. I'm excited to introduce the first pitch of the night, Emily Rourke. Emily is the founder of M's Threads, who was mentored by Hobart alum Lowell Kronowitz and coached by countless others, many of whom are in this room tonight. Won't you please welcome, as we already have, Emily to the stage.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. As you know, my name is Emily Rourke, and I am the founder of M's Threads. I would like to thank Todd Feldman, President Gearin, the Centennial Center staff, and the 4 judges here tonight for providing this opportunity for myself and the other students to pursue our entrepreneurial goals. As you arrived here today, you may have noticed some unique sweatshirts, like this one. These are M's Threads. M's Threads is my upcycled clothing company embodying love for one another and for the environment. Can you believe the fashion industry generates 92 million tons of textile waste annually? That is the equivalent of a full garbage truck every second. Of that 92 million tons, only about 1% is recycled into new clothing. We need a circular economy of clothing. We need threads that last. We need M's Threads. The M's Threads emphasis on love and care is inspired by my mom. It sounds cliche, but everything my mom sews is made with love. Every homemade sweatshirt, bag, and Halloween costume brings a smile to the wearer and to the people around them. She incorporates purpose and innovation, demonstrating her care for the environment by often repurposing old materials. Fueled by my mom's legacy, I embarked on this mission. The day before coming back to school last semester, I begged her to teach me how to sew. My goal was to design sweatshirts for my friends that spread love and care while encouraging a responsibility for what we wear. The next day, I sewed some hearts onto a sweatshirt for Lawrence. I did a flower for Liz and a sunset for Sophia. Sophia and Lawrence came home from field hockey practice in their new threads, and suddenly I had 5 more orders from their teammates. Based on my survey of over 90 respondents, mainly women ages 18 to 28, 71% said that they're motivated to factor sustainability into their clothing purchases. 77% said that uniqueness in design adds value to a sweatshirt. M's Threads answers the demand for sustainable shopping with innovation and offers a new sense of uniqueness. Each sweatshirt M's Threads makes is one of a kind. Order after order, I consulted with the customer. They chose size, colors, designs, anything they could dream up. And a few weeks later, their personalized piece came to life. I made the first 80 items on my own. As the orders kept coming in, I knew it was time to scale my production. I contracted local seamsters who now take my design kits and sew them all together. Initially, I thrifted each piece. Now, I source wholesale inventory from online retailers who rescue the excess clothing from thrift stores. This allows me to order in bulk at a cost of $5 per unit while ensuring a constant supply of materials. Now, thanks to you all, this is where I'm at. With the help of my incredible team of seamsters, I've been able to focus on selling EMS threads rather than sewing them all, leading to strong growth for the business with much more to come. This growth in sales is truly amazing, but I'm even more excited knowing that these 153 sweatshirts offsets what would be over 300 pounds in clothing waste. Beyond the environmental benefits, EMS Threads serves as a platform for community connections. Our outreach initiatives encourage environmental responsibility. Already, we've done college merch remixes and partnered with local businesses, Lake Drum and Monaco's. These pop-ups offer brand exposure while spreading EMS Threads beyond the target customer. When looking at market competitors, we have small batch sellers as well as larger clothing companies who value sustainability but do not offer customizable clothing. On the other hand, we have customizable clothing companies who do not prioritize sustainability. EMS Threads pushes the boundaries of clothing as we know it. In just the first 5 months of business, EMS Threads sold $11,000 worth of apparel. This was accomplished through two main offerings: custom sweatshirts and pre-made sweatshirts. As of February, custom sweatshirts sell for $95, with pre-made one-of-a-kind sweatshirts at $75. With total revenue at $11,000 and net profit at $4,867, overall profit margin in the first 5 months of business is 44%. So now, how do we continue to scale EMS Threads? With $10,000 from the pitch, I will advance EMS Threads in 4 main areas. Currently, all sales are facilitated through Instagram. To reach a wider audience, I will invest $4,000 in my website, which will offer pre-made, one-of-a-kind pieces for sale, as well as a custom creation portal. I will then spend $2,000 targeting select customer segments with social media advertisements, expanding beyond my word-of-mouth marketing. I will invest $2,000 in pop-up shop materials and booth fees at different venues. And lastly, I will continue to invest in more efficient sewing production, devoting $2,000 to professional-grade equipment. With these 4 advancements, we will greatly expand the reach of EMS Threads while building our capacity to support higher order volumes. By investing in these 4 areas, and with our current income statement in mind, we can see the scalability of EMS Threads. Using this model, with total revenue at $100,000, we can see that overall profit margin remains high at around 30%. If we can do it at $100,000, we can do it at $1 million. The structure of this business ensures that as sales grow, so too does our impact on the environment. For every 100 sweatshirts sold, over 200 pounds of clothing are diverted from the waste stream. The impacts of EMS Threads will multiply. Speaking of expanding our reach, I cannot stand up here tonight and tell you all about these awesome sweatshirts without giving you the opportunity to purchase your own. During the intermission, EMS Threads will have a pop-up shop selling a limited number of one-of-a-kind pieces. Now, judges, I know what you're thinking. While you're in the conference room deciding who's going to win, you're going to miss out on the opportunity to check out the pop-up shop. I solved that problem for you. With the help of some of your family and friends, we crafted these pieces to spread that special feeling of love and care. Each sweatshirt has a one-of-a-kind heart tag. This tag is personal to the wearer and serves as a reminder of the EMS Threads story, embodying love for one another and for the environment. This experience is truly a representation of the relationship-rich education here at HWS. I would like to thank each and every one of you listening here tonight, as well as every single person who's helped me along the way. And lastly, I would like to share a special thank you to my family for inspiring and supporting me every step of this journey. I am ready to take this business to the next level. With the help of $10,000 from the pitch and my unwavering commitment to the growth of EMS Threads, I know this business will succeed. Together, we can have an impact. Why not start tonight? Thank you.
Great job.
Thank you.
So you quoted in some of your market research that I think it was 71% were female. What insights do you have so far about male customers and the size of that market, how you might tap into it, et cetera?
Good question. So 15%, Instagram, as I said, is my main way of advertising. And based on Instagram's business insights, 15% of the users who've engaged with MSthreads are male. I think that the more female-dominated customer segments that I have is also a result of the organic marketing that comes from word of mouth. But through my pop-ups and connections with local business, we've already started expanding that customer segment.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. So agree. Great job. Great presentation. Great slides. You know your story. So appreciate that. You talked about your total revenue to date, 11,000, between custom and pre-made. Can you talk a little more about where you're seeing more profits come from, where you're seeing more of the sales happening, and which would you follow if you had to choose between the custom versus pre-made?
Thank you. So an overwhelming 90 or 95% of my past sales have been custom orders. This is because of the overwhelming demand for them. If I had more time, I would make more pre-made one-of-a-kind sweatshirts. When I post those to Instagram, they sell instantly. But I do have a special feeling for the custom sweatshirts because it's truly the customer's own creation, and everyone who wears it has the biggest smile on their face.
I'm concerned about the scalability of it moving forward, and how do you go beyond what it is now? I mean, you're very passionate about it, but how do you find other people to help you?
Good question. Already I have a team of 7 seamsters who are local here in Geneva. A few are students and a few are mothers. This has worked super well because of the flexibility that MSthreads offers. I've also had some of my seamsters who have sewn over 60 sweatshirts and really know my design style, who have taken on more designer roles. So this gives me confidence that I'll be able to hire or contract many more seamsters and many more designers.
Thank you.
Great job.
Thank you.
You're 5 months in, you've made $11,000. It's incredibly impressive, so take a minute. That's really well done. My question is actually around your largest cost is labor. Mm-hmm. Labor is going to be your largest cost. I think we've seen through a lot of custom-made products that have come to light, in particular several entrepreneurial women who made a recent deal with the NFL. There's, I think, a demand. My question to you is seamstresses and individuals who will be able to produce that product for you, how do you scale the labor so that you're not impacting the cost of the product too much? You're going to need more people, and it's expensive.
Yes, so just to clarify, you're asking how I will continue to get more people?
Yeah, how are you going to scale labor? It's your biggest cost.
Yes. So there are actually websites such as the Mom Project, which is essentially like a LinkedIn for mothers. And based on my experience with working with other mothers here, I'm super excited to explore that future option. I'm also very confident in paying my seamsters and design team at fair prices, and I know that this causes my pieces to go for more, but a big thing with sustainable clothing is that the price is really a representation of the labor. So fast fashion is so cheap because they're not paying their labor enough. So really when you see a piece of clothing, you should be wondering the backstory of it.
Nicely done, Em. I am Craig Talmadge, Centennial Center's Faculty Fellow and Associate Professor of Management and Entrepreneurship. Our next finalist is Sagat Raj Joshi, who teamed up with Rex Idland and others to co-found Ecopac. Sogat and Rex were mentored by alum Dan Gilbert and coached by Professor Steve Brookstein. Won't you please welcome Sogat to the stage?
Good evening, everyone. I am Sogat Raj Joshi, co-founder for Ecopac. Before we delve into our presentation, I have a question for you. Have you ever encountered this situation when receiving a package? Annoying, isn't it? Now, while this may be an easy cleanup for your homes, have you ever considered how long it takes for one of these to decompose? The answer is over 500 years. That's the legacy we're leaving for every single package. The problem is clear. While traditional packaging materials like styrofoam are easy to use and affordable, they're extremely damaging to the environment. At Ecopac, we've developed the Biofoam Roll, a completely biodegradable, sustainable alternative made from mushrooms and agricultural waste. This isn't just a product. It's our answer to the pressing issue of global packaging waste. The demand for sustainable packaging is growing rapidly, with the market to be valued at $412 billion by 2027. Plus, with e-commerce sales at over $6.5 trillion last year, there's a clear need for sustainable packaging. Understanding this immense potential within this market, we chose to prioritize what matters the most to us, our customers. At Ecopac, we're not just guessing the needs of the market, we are actively engaging with it. We have been conducting in-depth customer interviews across various industries to understand the specific packaging needs, preferences, and sustainability concerns of our potential customers. From these conversations, a few things have become very clear. First, there's a clear need for versatile packaging. Businesses are looking for adaptable solutions that ensure product safety while also increasing operational efficiency. Second, there's significant inefficiency in the current use of multiple packaging, leading to increased cost and environmental concerns. Finally, while cost still remains a significant factor in decision-making, there's a clear shift towards sustainability. This is where Ecopac stands out, offering a unified, cost-effective, eco-friendly solution that seamlessly integrates into pre-existing factory setups, causing no additional costs to manufacturers. This makes our product ideal for the shipping needs of small to medium-sized businesses in multiple industries. Now, understanding this urgent need for sustainable packaging, we worked rigorously on prototype development. And in this development journey, we have received invaluable support from Cornell Agritech. In fact, we just reached an agreement to collaborate on the development of a prototype. This includes internship contracts for both of our scientists, allowing them free access to lab and equipment. Plus, we get the cutting-edge scientific insights from Cornell Agritech. This collaboration underscores Ecopac's commitment to both sustainability and innovation. Now, let me take you through how we bring this innovation to life. We start with hydration and homogenization, where we grind up agricultural substrates such as rice husk, wheat husk, to create a base for mushroom growth. Next, after sterilization, we introduce mycelium spores, and within 5 to 7 days, we observe mushroom growth. The final step is to dehydrate the substance, cut it up into shape, similar to your traditional rolls, but far more sustainable. Now let's talk numbers. Developing a prototype isn't cheap, but we strategically planned our costs to ensure affordability. Our journey begins with the initial prototype, estimated at $1,000. However, we understand that innovation doesn't stop with the prototype. We're allocating $20,000 for the purposes of continued research and development. This allows us to continually refine and improve our product, guided by continuous customer feedback. To bring the Biofoam Roll to market, we're looking at a startup cost of $20,000. This includes the cost to buy and lease machinery to set up a small-scale production line for the biofoam roll. Should we win this pitch contest, we will use this fund to achieve market readiness. This includes prototype iteration, market validation, and production optimization. Focusing on all three allows us to ensure to our customer a product that is well-refined with no compromises in quality. Now, you'd assume with such steep initial costs, our product would be priced at a premium rate. But what if I were to tell you we've chosen to price one unit of the biofoam roll competitively to your traditional styrofoam rolls at $30? Now, how have we managed to do this? Allow me to introduce you to our business model, the circular economy. Firstly, our initial investment in equipment and high-quality mycelium spores is actually a long-term play. You see, mushrooms are a self-propagating organism, meaning once mature, with in-house cultivation, we can eliminate the cost of sourcing our primary raw material, mushroom spores. But wait, it gets even better. With proper nutrient monitoring and environmental conditions, we're estimating that each unit of the biofoam roll's agricultural substrate can be used for at least 3 production cycles, further reducing our cost. So how does this affect our financials overlooking the next 5 years? For year 1, we're expecting modest sales as we introduce the biofoam roll into the market. We're focusing on building strong business-to-business relationships while establishing our brand in the sustainable packaging industry. Our cost of goods sold reflects the investment in quality and sustainability from the start. As we progress into years 2 and 3, we're expecting significant uptick in sales guided by our expanded customer base. And by years 4 and 5, we look to introduce licensing as an additional source of revenue. This allows us to leverage our technology and processes to ensure a strong foothold in the sustainable packaging industry. Our cost of goods sold decreases as we achieve operational efficiency and derive the benefits from our circular economy model. Now, none of this would have been possible without our team. At Ecopac, we combine competence with commitment. We are committed to make a tangible impact on the issue of global packaging waste and reducing carbon footprint. Our mentorship experience with Mr. Daniel Gilbert has been transformative in refining our strategy for market entry and business model. Plus, with Professor Brookstein as our coach, we now have a clear destination for our product while also understanding our role in pre-existing value chains in the supply chain industry. In closing, I would like to say, in Ecopac, you are not just investing in a product. You are investing in a far more sustainable future. We invite you in joining us in this journey. Together, we can make a significant impact on the environment. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you. Well done. I have a one-part question, so I'll go first.
I have a four-part question. You go.
You talked about doing research with your customers. It's good to hear that. You also talked about who the competitor set is, and I saw 4 competitors on there. So I want you to talk a little bit more about that, because the 2 of them seem to lack flexibility only. Everything else was on par, and so that could be an area where someone who already exists, has a business model in place, could they adjust that and address that issue? So talk a little more about the competitors.
Thank you for the question. Regarding flexibility, while it may seem pretty simple, when we asked our customers, we quickly realized they really prioritize cost when it comes to packaging. So when we say we offer flexibility, what we're offering them is the ability to switch out their pre-existing styrofoam rolls in factory setups or bubble wraps with our biofoam roll. So most of the competitors that are producing sustainable packaging at the moment have options that are either pre-molded or pre-cut. So thus, this kind of presents a dilemma where customers that require packaging are unable to really integrate this easily into their systems.
So I guess kind of on the same topic as far as competitors, when will you pursue, or is it part of your strategy to pursue intellectual property protection, so IP, patents, provisional patents, and things?
Sure. Thank you for the question. Regarding intellectual property protection, we understand it's a very important process. So at the moment, as I said, we are working with Cornell Agritech in terms of prototype development. And as soon as we're done with this, our priority shifts to protecting our intellectual property. So we will be filing for patents, and we see at the moment no problems with this regulatory process.
Have you actually tested this product in the field yet?
Sure. So we've done all of our calculations that we require to actually start prototyping. And at the moment, we're sourcing mycelium spores to figure out which one is the best. See, the thing is, when we say mushrooms, it's an umbrella term. There's 80 different strains. And we've identified a couple of strains that are ideal for a product. For instance, one such strain is Abortiparus biennis, Recosol 73. This really allows us to scale in a bigger and better way while also optimizing our production. So at the moment, we're figuring out what is the ideal strain for us, which allows us to scale while also not compromising on quality.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very good job.
Thank you.
I'm going to do my four-part question in a two-part question. So I'm going to start with part one first. You talk about the end product, and you've talked about the prototyping. I don't see where the actual manufacturing comes into play here. So you need facilities. That's expensive. You need labor for those facilities. So tell me a little bit about the type of facility and how the cost of those facilities and that labor is going to impact the $23.
For sure. So regarding the cost, we've actually already calculated costs and labor into our pricing. So we've allocated $15 for operational expenses per unit of the biofoam roll. This would include wages. And the thing is, regarding the actual, I apologize, could you rephrase the question a little bit?
Sure. So you need to manufacture it, right?
Oh, yes.
So you have spores, you have spoilage. You're assuming 3 outputs from a single strain. Your guarantee of 100% output for each attempt is probably very aggressively high. So talk to me about the actual physical manufacturing in the space and the cost of that space, because at $15 for labor, I
Sure.
think that's a little under, but facilities I really want to know about.
So regarding facilities, actually, we have already explored our options. And for instance, Ecovative Designs actually actively seek collaborations in packaging, mushroom packaging specifically. So we see many manufacturing agents that are already out there and would be willing to help us in this project.
So what's the added cost of the $23?
Quite honestly, the way we've modeled our business is a circular economy. So our goal is to reduce mycelium spores. And with manufacturing agents, like I said, the costs, operational expenses, as I mentioned, we have actually already included this. We have taken this into calculations. Sure.
No, yeah. What's the weight of your product compared to the other products out there?
Of course. So at the moment, we have modeled our product exactly the same dimensions as Uline's perforated styrofoam roll. So thus, we believe our product at the moment with yield calculations will roughly weigh about 5 to 7 pounds.
And how does that compare to styrofoam?
Sure. So regarding styrofoam, I believe styrofoam is just about the same range, about a pound over under. And we don't see this really being an issue, as this is definitely something that we considered. And we're looking to refine it better as we progress with prototyping.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good job, man. Is your mic on?
Okay, great job, Sogat. My name is Reese Wilson, senior Centennial Center intern, former pitch finalist. Our third finalist is Lucas Johnson, founder of Three Face. Lucas was mentored by alum Adam Chappett. Won't you please join me in welcoming Lucas to the stage?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Lucas.
I'm a senior here studying architecture and design. I'm a skateboarder, but most importantly, I'm the founder of Three Face, a fingerboard company determined to spread the passion of fingerboarding through creativity and community. I've been into fingerboards ever since I was in elementary school, keeping one in my pocket everywhere I went. Up until high school, I just had no idea that there was such a vibrant community of fingerboarders behind the little skateboards that I grew up loving. But after I went to my first fingerboarding event in my freshman year of college, man, I was hooked, even more so than I already was before. This event had a DJ, mini concrete skate parks, there was clothing, art, and fingerboards for sale, and there was tons and tons of like-minded creatives that I got to meet and inspired me. Fingerboarding really offered me a sense of belonging, and it also opened up numerous creative outlets for me. And Three Face will open those outlets for everybody. Now, the issue is that the fingerboarding community is not connected to the world yet, which sucks because it has so much to offer for everyone. There's tons of rewarding challenges, there's infinite creative possibility, not to mention it's a vibrant community with space for everyone. It's also really fun. Three Face is going to grow the fingerboarding community globally by enabling creativity right at home while also crafting quality fingerboard products that are accessible for everybody. Three Face is going to be selling handcrafted fingerboards, fingerboard accessories, and ramps made of concrete and wood. Now, let me take one step back because you might be thinking, what is a fingerboard? Well, a fingerboard is a small-scale, fully functioning skateboard for your fingers. It's fully customizable from the wheels to the deck itself. You can fit it in your pocket, take it anywhere you go, and you can do over hundreds of different tricks, just like you can on a real skateboard. Now, you might be thinking about tech deck right now, but I want to reassure you that Three Face is not tech deck. Tech deck are mass-produced, poor-quality fingerboards made of plastic that only last a couple days before they're completely hindered in use. Not to mention, they are the biggest manufacturer of fingerboards in the world, yet they do little to nothing for the fingerboarding community in person. And that's where Three Face comes in, as your perfect mid-priced fingerboarding option. We're going to start by selling two of our main products, our fingerboard budget complete kits, as well as our handcrafted fingerboarders. Our budget complete kits are going to come with everything you need to set up a professional fingerboard right out of the box. This is perfect for newcomers because it comes at an affordable price, yet they still get the quality pieces they need to have a professional fingerboard to really have what this fingerboard community has to offer. Now, for our more avid fingerboarders who already have these pieces ready to go and put together a professional fingerboard, they're just looking for more art and unique pieces to add to their collection. So, with these fingerboards fully designed and manufactured by Three Face, we can make sure that all these fingerboarders are getting quality products every single time. Now, on social media, I have over 500 followers across both of my fingerboarding accounts, and when I was more consistent in my social media posting, tons of our videos got over 10,000 views. Not to mention, since we've launched our website last August, we've made about $550 in revenue. Now, I'm confident that with a more consistent social media posting basis, not only will we be able to surpass 10,000 views, but we will get even more. Do you remember being a kid and just trying to find fun in everything and trying to learn tons of things? Three Face is going to advertise its fingerboards as toys that kids can put hours and hours of meaningful practice in while also promoting this creativity right at home. For our fingerboarders, like I said before, they're fanatics about these things. They collect pieces, they love the art behind it, so Three Face is going to uphold that quality in every product we sell. Now for our skateboarders, fingerboarding serves as the perfect way to fit their passion for skateboarding in their pocket so they can take it with them anywhere that they go. Now let's talk markets. You might not have heard about the fingerboarding market, but I promise you it's there and it's vibrant. There's over 100 different fingerboard communities worldwide. Not to mention, if you look up fingerboarding on TikTok, you're going to have over 1.1 billion views on the topic. Billion with a B. And if you look up the same hashtag on Instagram, it's going to be over 960,000 posts under that same hashtag. Now for our toy market, construction sets and toy models were some of the best-selling types of toys in 2018, projected all the way until 2028. Because Three Face promotes this creativity at home, our products fit this projection perfectly. Now for our skateboarding market, there was over 8.75 million skateboarders in the United States in 2021. According to a report done by Red Bull, 75% of those skateboarders are also under the age of 18, which is yet another target market of Three Face. According to that same report, 50% of all of those skateboarders also live in California, which is perfect because Three Face headquarters is also based right out of California. Now, there are other fingerboard companies on the market crafting high-quality products for fingerboarders. But the problem is they're not accessible because of their high price point. Your general hobby grade fingerboard surprisingly can cost you over $100 to set up, which is scary to newcomers and oftentimes deters people from joining the community at all. Not to mention, it's hard for people to find opportunities to experience these community events in person. So, Three Face is going to make it a point to not only make these quality products accessible to everyone, but to host as many fingerboard events in LA as possible to make sure everyone gets a chance to experience this vibrant community in person. Let's talk financials. Our first year of business is projected to be extremely successful. Not only do we break even in our first year of business, but we also start profiting with a projected $6,000 of profit in our first year alone. Every year after that has a projection of roughly $10,000 increase in profit yearly, with our fifth year being our most profitable year projected. I would like to remind you that this is only with our two main products, and with a couple years of refinement and tuning, we're going to have tons and tons more products which will only drive those profits higher. If I were to win the pitch, I'd be putting about $4,000 into my manufactured goods. I have to manufacture all of them, so I'm going to be investing in quality power tools such as laser cutters, routing tables, and more to make sure that I can streamline my manufacturing process while also making it more efficient as I need to scale up. Now, for my outsourced materials, I have about $3,000 set aside. That's so I can have ample money to make sure that I'm testing multiple different manufacturers with multiple different pieces to make sure that the ones that I'm reselling on my website are up to par for fingerboarders' needs. Now, for my marketing strategies, I have about $1,700 set aside for things such as video production, paying for advertisements on social media, as well as paying for merch and hosting free giveaways to give back to the vibrant community that started this all. Now, the last bit of money is going to be my contingency fund, which is about $1,000. So if there's any unexpected expenses or any emergencies that happen, I'll have that as a safety net to help me pay. Now, the first few months after the pitch are crucial to the success of my business. While I won't be able to start manufacturing because I will be still in school trying to get my degree, I will be able to do other things. So I'll be investing in my tools and ordering them right to my house. So once I get home, I'll be able to jump right into manufacturing. On top of that, I'm going to be working on tons of graphic design and recording tons of clips to build my library of social media posts. So come June, when I announce the public return of Three Face, I'll already have tons of content and media to post online to start that growth. Now, I hope to launch my website officially in August. So between June and August, I'm just going to be manufacturing and quality testing all of my products to make sure that these fingerboards are ready to go when it's August. Now, after about a month of selling on my website, I will have wanted to start testing new products such as my concrete ramps. So when September comes around, that's exactly what I'm going to start doing. I'd like to give a special shout out to everyone at the Centennial Center, my mentor, Adam Choppett, my professors, and my friends for the unwavering support that I've received these past few months. It's been a hard but rewarding journey. And to the judges, thank you for being here tonight. This opportunity has been golden. If you look on your table, you'll see I've handcrafted you each a quality fingerboard for you to test out. Thank you, and here are my socials.
I was a little surprised about how much money you had allocated to marketing over the years. It seems, for a growing company, very low. How do you plan to get the word out?
So I've already had tons of success online, but in person is really where I'm trying to strive my growth, because that's my emphasis of my brand and my business is in-person community building. So as much as social media really helps, I kind of think that it hinders a lot of what community has to offer, especially because I'm sponsored by a fingerboard community back in Los Angeles, and I already have met a couple owners of fingerboard businesses that are already up and running who also have brick and mortars. I'm sure that I'll be able to build more connections and spread that through not only my social media platforms, but others, as well as word of mouth.
Nice job.
Thank you.
And thank you for the fingerboard. That's cool.
Yeah, man.
Two-part question. So in manufacturing, how did you manufacture these, for one? And does your costs for manufacturing in your 5-year projection reflect the cost of making these ones, or what it will be when you're making 1,500 of them in year 5?
So I have not included the price reduction as I manufacture across the years. But in terms of your first part of the question, how do I actually manufacture them? I order bulk veneer wood, and I have tons and tons of exotic wood, different types, and I basically cut them down to the shape The gold is in the molds. So basically, I have these skateboard molds that you put polyurethane glue and 5 layers of veneer wood in, and you let them dry for 2 hours, and it comes out as a rectangle. And all I have to do is hand sand it down to shape and put my graphic on it, and it's good to go.
You're doing that like in your dorm right now?
No, I'm actually not manufacturing right now.
Oh.
I do have access to the wood shop, so when I do find free time, I make some. But when I'm at home, I have my workspace to manufacture out of.
That's great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, thanks again. And, as owner of a advertising agency, I enjoyed your slides. They're very creative.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So good job on that. Two things. One, from the presentation, I didn't really get a sense for a market issue that you're trying to address. I mean, I think I heard a little bit about that cost and, there's some of these low quality ones that are out there, but you started with a video where you said, it's a thriving community, everyone's really excited, they're doing their thing.
Yep.
So I didn't get that sense. So that's one thing I'd like you to talk a little bit about. And then also the cost of production that you have in here at $5 throughout the next 5 years. Does that include all the new machinery and things that you were talking about purchasing?
So the cost of goods sold is at $5, but a lot of like my startup funds, such as buying new power tools and such, is actually included in the expenses part in the bottom of my P&L. In terms of your first question, or the first part of your question, that video that I showed was very vibrant, but it was an event in the middle of Santa Ana, which is kind of far from the epicenter of a lot of the culture that Los Angeles has to offer. So I'm hoping that the problem that I'm addressing is that the vibrant community that I'm lucky to be a part of is just not known well enough and is not really spread yet, and I'm trying to make that different. So through my events, I'm hoping to seep fingerboarding into other cultures such as art, skateboarding, clothing, and really just find ways to mesh fingerboarding with other things to really put it on the map.
Great presentation. Thank you.
Thank you.
What would it take to produce 5,000 pieces?
So right now, it takes about an hour for me to manufacture one fingerboard. Yeah.
Let me reframe that.
Okay.
In 5 years, if
Yes.
you needed to manufacture 5,000 pieces, what does that look like?
So it takes me about an hour to make one board, and in a day I can make 30 to 40 if I have enough molds. But I will need to start hiring more people to start scaling up. So I'm going to be looking to the fingerboarding community, especially because of how creative they are and how vibrant in their skills in creating are. I'm going to be looking towards them to basically hire them and pay them to do what they love, and then make sure that the quality that I'm putting in my products alone will be spread by the people that I hire, and hopefully by then I'll be able to scale up to 5,000 and make sure that they're still all quality products.
You talk about, sorry,
I got you.
that you can make one in an hour, but 30 or 40 a day. How does that jive?
So a lot of the time I'm sitting around waiting for boards to be drying in the mold, but if I've produced for a couple of days, I'll already have what's called a biscuit, which is a pre-made board that hasn't been shaped yet. So while I'm waiting for boards to dry, I can still be sanding and working on tons of other boards while these ones dry. So maybe not at the first couple days I won't be able to make 30 or 40, but once I get into the process and I'm making it every day, I'll have enough biscuits to work on while the other boards are drying, and that way I'll be able to produce that.
How much sanding do you have to do?
I gotta do a lot of sanding. A lot of sanding. I've lost my fingerprints a couple times.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, I appreciate it. Thank you, man.
Thank you, Lucas. Our last finalist of the night is Corey Bowen, the creator of the nonprofit Stories We Tell. Corey was mentored by HWS parents Brian Bafiglio and Amy Unger. Won't you please help me welcome Corey to the stage?
Imagine, if you will, a little girl, about 4'1", red hair, a few freckles, crying at the back of her church because she didn't want to say the one line she had in front of the small congregation at the annual church Christmas pageant. Yep, that was me. And if you would have told 8-year-old Corey that she'd be doing the pitch at Hobart and William Smith, she would have laughed at you, probably cried, and said, "There is no way that could ever be me. You see, my nonprofit, Stories We Tell, was created for every young person who thought the same thing that I did. That it could never be them speaking to a group of people, let alone on a stage like this. Too often, and particularly in underfunded school districts, youth don't have access to after-school programs that enhance the fundamental skills of public speaking and communication. In reality, 87% of students across the nation don't participate in any after-school program, much less one that dives into the art of public speaking. With advances in technology and the recent pandemic, so many students have lost valuable face-to-face connections, undermining their confidence, but also causing a steep gap in literacy skills. You see, right now, the lack of affordable, accessible public speaking programs for youth has had a cascading effect on so many adults today. Actually, many studies reveal that public speaking, among all else, is the #1 fear in America. If 75% of people across the nation fear public speaking, and a recent study suggests that one of the biggest indicators of success is your ability to speak effectively and confidently, then I think it's time we create an affordable program where youth can turn fear into assurance and steer towards a feeling of confidence in their own voice. Let me introduce you to Stories We Tell. At its core, Stories We Tell is a nonprofit organization that offers a semester-long, after-school public speaking workshop for middle school students. By attending these workshops, students can gain a comprehensive solution that covers 3 essential problems. 1, simply, students will have access to a free after-school program. 2, Stories We Tell will close the shortfall in literacy skills created by the pandemic. And 3, ultimately, youth will learn how to become comfortable and confident when speaking in public. You see, after-school programs, especially in underfunded areas, are crucial to the success of any young person. After-school programs have been found to lower dropout rates, boost intrinsic motivation, promote good behavior, reduce poverty, and create a higher sense of self-worth. A study in Ohio found that 81% of students who attended an after-school program said that they felt like their confidence was growing, and 91% of students say that they felt like their social skills were getting better. The data behind the advantage of after-school programs is abundant, but yet in so many parts of this country, there is this stunning lack of accessibility and affordability. Stories We Tell is free to any and all youth and will provide a strong foundation of support for middle school students who, as many of us know, often need it most. You see, a few days ago, I made the short drive to Geneva Middle School to visit with the superintendent of Geneva City Schools, Mr. Bo Wright. He and his team said that public speaking, among all other categories that fall under the umbrella of literacy skills, is the least practiced, and yet one of the most important skills for high school, college, career readiness, and not to mention just in day-to-day interactions. In fact, because of the pandemic, students are estimated to need at least 4 months of extra school to catch up on those lost literacy skills. Dr. Barr, superintendent of Lyons Central District, is concerned that public speaking programs are already omitted from the curriculum because there is only so much you can do within a 6-hour school day. Stories We Tell offers students a way to develop those oral speaking literacy skills, narrowing that divide created by the pandemic. And ultimately, students will be able to grow comfortable and confident when speaking in public and find their own unique voice and story. Workshops will focus on things like body language, inflection, eye contact, and overall communication skills that are not only key to middle school curriculums and to social emotional learning standards, but simply in the 21st century. Now, at this point, you might be thinking like, okay, that sounds pretty cool and all, but aren't there programs out there that help a young person speak in public? And you're right. But if you go to Google and start perusing, you'll find that top competitors cost over $50 for a single class and take place completely online. Not only does the need for technology limit accessibility for so many students, but for countless families out there, affording enough of these classes to truly become confident in public speaking is near impossible. Unlike its other one-size-fits-all competitors, Stories We Tell tailors its program to meet students right where they are at. Also, Stories We Tell is built into the day, meaning that parents or educators don't have to go the extra mile to find transportation or find the right fit, helping Stories We Tell stand alone in a category completely of its own. Stories We Tell offers in-person workshops, transportation, and maybe, most importantly, authentic connections that exceed the realm of any Zoom call or any long weekend convention. Plus, the truly unique thing about Stories We Tell can be boiled down to one word, and that's flexibility. We are able to mold and shape our curriculum to meet the distinct needs of each middle school, and through my extensive research and many conversations with professionals, it's clear that stories we tell can start anywhere, and we are prepared to go to schools who are ready for us. But, of course, it's no secret that we will need a little bit of funding to do this, so here's how we'll do it. With the $10,000, we will be able to pilot our first program. We'll establish a point person within the district, develop a curriculum, purchase materials, and begin to reach new districts and audiences. However, to continue to broaden our reach, Stories We Tell will utilize a combination of funding to enable the program to be completely free and accessible to each and every middle school student. We'll harness federal grants like the 21st Century Learning Grant, state grants like the Extended School Year Grant. If we're in Ohio, the After School Alliance program, or even if we're in Colorado, we have the Daniels Fund program. Working with funding experts like McKenna Carroll, who's inside Geneva City Schools, and Kim Gom, who's outside the district, as well as superintendents, we have reached a pretty simple conclusion: that there is more than enough funding for Stories We Tell. All we have to do now is take that first step. You know, I might be the only one standing up here right now, but if I've learned anything from this process, it is that an entrepreneur does not even come close to creating a nonprofit alone. A huge thank you to the team that has supported me throughout this process: the Centennial Center staff, the Cecil office, multiple professors from the education department. Thank you to my pitch coaches, funding experts, superintendents, and especially to my mentors, Brian Belfiglio and Amy Unger. And a huge shout out to my mom and sister, who convinced me to submit this proposal at 11:45 p.m. the night it was due, way back in November. And I'll end with this. I was in the 6th grade when Miss Seckler came up to me and said, "Corey, I know you're quiet, but you've got a lot of creative energy. I think we can do something with that." And she introduced me to the sound of my own voice. And 7 years later, I was able to give a graduation speech to over 3,000 people, and I have absolutely no doubt she's the reason I'm able to stand up here and do this right now. And I tell you that story not because I think it's virtuous, but because I believe that one person, one program, Stories We Tell, has the power to change a kid's life for the better, just like it did mine. Thank you. That's my soccer team for you.
In your profit and loss statement, you show personnel. Does that include paying the people to deliver the program in the schools?
Yeah, so the personnel who we will be paying would be through the grants, but yes, I added it in, and yeah, we'd be paying them through the program, the grants.
Thank you.
That was a great presentation.
Thank you.
I'm curious about the conversations you had with administrators around what it would take for you to, I guess, I don't want to call it sales because it's you're providing it for free, but kind of making them aware of it, promoting it, getting them involved to say, yes, there is an administrative process, and anything, you know, as bureaucratic as K-12 education. What have you learned about that, and to what extent does that show up in your use of funds?
Okay, just to make sure I'm answering it right, the process to
get into the schools.
Okay.
And then have you thought about the cost of doing that as you're building out your P&L?
Gotcha. Okay, so essentially when I was talking mainly with Geneva City Schools, we said there are 3 things that we need to become ready to go into schools. So 1 is funding, which check the box with that at Geneva. 2 is personnel and like a foot in the door, connections. And then 3rd is an existing after-school program. So when in talking with Geneva, specifically McKenna Carroll was really helpful, and she said, you know, you come to us, you pitch your idea, and she said, you know, we like it, we will take it to the district, and then she would become our champion with that program. So she'd take it to networking events, she'd take it to conferences, and say, hey, this is what our school's doing, this is what it's doing for the kids, and this is what it can do for your school.
So to clarify then, you are a program within an existing community-based organization, a CBO, that's already delivering the infrastructure for an after-school program. You don't need the admin, you don't need any of that. You're just going to be plugging into an existing organization that's delivering multiple programs at the school.
Yes, so
okay.
the after-school framework is there.
Yeah,
Okay.
That's what I wanted to know.
Okay,
That's
okay.
the first part of my question.
Okay.
The second part of my question
Yeah.
then is, if you think about it, what would be the cost of delivery per student to you? People scale, you're going to have a maximum number, I'm assuming, per class? Like, what is the cost per student to deliver stories we tell to one student?
That's a great question. I haven't, the numbers aren't, it's just a prediction. But with public speaking, it's one of those things where you don't need a whole lot of materials, and you really are only paying for the people to facilitate the program. So we'd engage in a train-the-trainer kind of system. We don't solely rely on staffing within the school, but we would use the grants to pay for the facilitators to come in. So the cost per student would be very, very low. Materials, pens, paper. There are software out there that maybe later down in the road, but the cost would be very low per student.
The source of funds that you've identified for 24 through 26, are those also predictions, or have you identified those sources already?
So I kind of had the same question. So I went on to the Office of Elementary and Secondary Education Funding and looked at the breakdown of what schools get. So New York gets like 97 million. So that is working with funding experts and professors. That is our best prediction based on what we looked at in research.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's where you have
That's what
access
you
to
tap.
potentially.
Yeah.
Okay.
Potentially.
And aside from, having a great cheerleading squad here tonight, I think you did an amazing job telling your story. And, we may need to hire you for our future pitch or something, yeah. So, well done.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. God, she's
Whew. You did it. You did it. Awesome, awesome job. Judges, will you please follow Susan into the judging room for deliberations? No, you're fine. Will you follow Susan into the judges' room?
Judges are back in. I want to thank you all for participating in our raffle. Yes, it was a little bit of chaos, but appreciate you all. We didn't expect so many of you. Thank you for those who gave to the Boys and Girls Club of Geneva, and we are so excited to have our judges back with us. And I will now welcome back Susan Pleiner to the stage.
Hi, everyone. So, welcome back, and I'm Susan Pleiner. I'm an associate provost and director of the Centennial Center. Before we make the big announcement, I think what's really important is to recognize the team that puts this together. It is no small feat. I know President Guerin also already thanked all the Centennial Center staff, but I would like to do a special shout out to the team that makes this all happen. Kayla Eberhardt, Anne Marie Luce, Craig Talmadge, Alton, Reese, Tom, and Olivia. They are the key players in making the pitch a success. And I also want to personally acknowledge and thank the wonderful Kristen Tapscott tonight for her partnership and her organizational genius. She is a genius. As well as Syracuse Technologies, who's helping us with all of our IT, and our own HWS IT team for providing the event support. In addition, I want to thank Grace Swartz and the Opel Student Startup Fund Committee for the support they provided tonight as well. So I'm going to welcome Emily and Sagat and Lucas and Corey back up to the stage with me. So all four of these students have worked so hard for a very long time. I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but November to March is a very long time when we're asking them to come to the Centennial Center over and over and over and over again to learn and to grow and to practice and to change and to hear a lot of feedback. So in honor of your involvement with the Todd Feldman and Family Pitch Contest, the Centennial Center wants to gift you all $500 to further pursue your ideas and make your passions become real. So, thank you. So I just want to say, I don't know if you all know this, but all 4 of our finalists also put in to pitch at the New York Business Plan Competition, which is on April 2nd, so you'll all get to cheer them on again, because they're going to represent HWS at the New York Business Plan Competition. So because this is our 13th year doing this, we know how it goes. I'm going to say a few words about the finalists from the judges, and I'm going to announce the winner, and then it all comes apart. So before that happens, I'm going to thank you all for coming tonight, for supporting your peers and your students and your family members in what I think was an incredible evening, and I am in complete awe always at what our students can accomplish when they set their minds to it. So thank you. So thank you for coming. So let's go ahead and do what you've all been waiting for. The judges would like you all to know that you were all amazing. They were super impressed with you. They were also impressed with your ability to tell your story with such poise and passion. They noted that you were extraordinarily passionate about your ideas, and at the end of the day, passion will get you through the hard days, so that you need to hold on to what you're passionate about, and that all of you have the potential to make your ideas a reality. Okay, so I'm pleased to announce that this year's, the 13th year of the Todd Feldman and Family Pitch Contest winner is M's Threads.